Hello and welcome to Nerd Subculture. I'm your host Jared.
And I'm Edwina.
And today continuing our Once More with Feeling on series on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Today doing Season 3 Episode 5, Homecoming. This episode first aired November 3rd, 1998, written by David Greenwald and also directed by David Greenwald. Isn't that lovely?
Well, this is the last episode that he's involved with.
Oh, really? So we never see him ever again?
No, he goes over to Buffy. Over to Angel, sorry.
Oh, Angel.
Yeah. So he goes over to be the showrunner.
Oh, interesting. That should be cool. We have to watch that now, do we? Do we have to watch that?
I don't know. I think you might like Angel.
We'll see.
This is a full spoiler podcast. I'm a huge fan, but Jared has never watched the series all the way through, and I'm trying to convince him that it's worth his time.
Right, it's far away.
Very far away. Far away indeed.
So I think you've actually seen this one.
No, I hadn't seen this one.
Really? You didn't?
No.
Oh, I would have sworn you'd seen this one.
No, these are all new to me, still new. Yep.
So nothing there looked familiar?
No, nothing.
I swear you'd seen this episode.
Carry on in the background, didn't pay attention, just saw someone being a vapid so-and-so. No, never seen this one. No.
Okay. Yeah, so this is definitely one of my faves. I really like this episode.
So it's good watching this one, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You've got lots of really great back and forth between Buffy and Cordelia. This very bitchy banter.
It's sort of reverted back to their original spaces, haven't they? Like original sort of friendship, frenemies.
Yeah.
Little bit of backtracking on it maybe, or...
It was going back to, in this episode, Buffy gets dumped and then one of her teachers doesn't remember her. The favourite teacher doesn't remember her.
No, yeah.
She misses out on the photo in the yearbook. And I think she kind of blames Cordelia solely for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not really Cordelia's
No. Well, I'm sure
fault.
she must have known those photos happening. So up to her to remember. But yeah.
Jared, did you want to do the summary?
Yeah, we'll get that out the way and then get back to what you're talking about because that sounded really interesting.
Okay.
Not really. This episode begins with Scott breaking up with Buffy the day after asking her to the homecoming dance. Buffy continues to feed a weakened Angel in secret, telling him that the others will not understand how he is now better. At school, Buffy is monitored by two men in a van that are somehow connected to a vampire known as Mr. Trick. They overhear Buffy mention that a limo will pick up both her and Faith and take them to the homecoming dance. The gang sends Cordelia to remind Buffy that the yearbook photos are about to take place, but Cordelia is too busy campaigning for homecoming queen. After discovering that her favourite teacher does not remember her, and that it was Cordelia's fault that she missed the yearbook photos, Buffy decides to compete for the homecoming queen title. Meanwhile, Mr. Trick introduces the competition Slayer Fest, a group of participants including German twin assassins Hans and Frederick, the most dangerous game hunter, Frawley, Kulak, a demon of the Minquot clan, I think, and Lyle Gorch from Bad Eggs and his new wife, Candy. When Xander and Willow try on their homecoming outfits, tension builds until they finally kiss. Blech. On homecoming night, Buffy is collected by a limo containing Cordelia instead of Faith. Cordelia gives Buffy a note from the rest of the gang who hope that Buffy and Cordelia will make up. Upon exiting the limo, the girls find themselves isolated in a remote location. They find a videotape message addressed to Buffy and Faith, detailing the hunting of the Slayers in Slayerfest 98. The participants attack, and after Buffy defeats Frawley, the girls seek shelter in a cabin. Buffy and Cordelia find a phone and attempt to alert Giles to the situation, but the phone is soon cut dead. They begin to bond when Cordelia admits that she loves Xander, and Buffy reveals that she spent a year's allowance on her dress. Kulak arrives and fights with Buffy until the German assassins fire a grenade into the cabin. Buffy and Cordelia escape, but Kulak is killed. Upon arriving in the library, Buffy and Cordelia find Giles has been knocked unconscious by Lyle and Candy. Buffy manages to stake Candy, but is knocked out in the process. Cordelia then scares off Lyle by persuading him that she is a bigger threat than Buffy. When Buffy and Giles regain consciousness, they discover the tracking devices in the corsages. Buffy distracts the German assassins as they enter the school, managing to plant the tracker on them and have them annihilate each other. Mr. Trick is escorted to the mayor's office, who recruits him to help control the rebellious youth of Sunnydale. Buffy and Cordelia finally arrive at homecoming dance to find that neither of them won the title. As the two winners make emotional speeches, Buffy and Cordelia walk out, united in their disgust.
Ugh.
Yeah. The end.
Yeah, so a very Cordelia-centric episode. We don't have too many of those, and they're really at odds in this.
God, some of the things she just says to Buffy are just when she says, "Does your head even register what your mouth is saying?" Or something?
Buffy says that to
Cordelia. When Buffy says that to Cordelia.
Yeah. Like Cordelia ends up bringing out that her inner, what she calls her inner prom queen.
Yeah, you really see that shine through, don't you?
Yeah, and you have seen that before because you saw that in when she was bad. She became very Cordelia-esque.
Yeah.
But yeah, in this episode, Cordelia is Buffy's metaphorical shadow self, and pretty much after this episode, it gets dropped because I think Buffy sort of reconciles with.
I'm sorry, what gets dropped?
Cordelia being her metaphorical
right.
shadow self. Because I think Buffy goes through a bit of personal growth in this episode, and it is that thing. She wants recognition and acceptance, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And also her friends are horrible in this episode. Like no one
helps her.
No one is on her side at all.
Well, they put her in a bit of a jam because they've already committed to Cordelia, and then she suddenly throws her hat in the ring, and they're like.
But they were Buffy's friends first.
But she asked first, though.
Yeah, but they should have had some allegiance to Buffy.
Well,
The fact that Willow goes, Cordelia needs it more when Buffy was like really struggling at that point with a whole heap of things that had gone on, to the point where she's not even in the yearbook. She feels invisible.
Is this another gay metaphor? She's just going through a phase?
No, it's not a gay metaphor at all.
Right. Just checking.
Willow saying that Cordelia needs it more. And they really don't see Buffy past her Slayer duties. Like, that's all that's the most important thing about Buffy is the duty as the Slayer.
Yeah. It's pretty important, though.
Yeah.
Don't get distracted.
But, she does, but in this episode, Buffy's feeling really, really invisible. She even says that.
Okay, so we want to bring up the weird scene with the teacher that didn't remember her.
Yeah.
So that was really weird.
But then again, to be fair, I hate to say it, most teachers don't remember their students.
You wouldn't remember Buffy. I mean, a lot of stuff has happened around the school involving her. You think, or maybe all the teachers who remember her are dead?
Maybe, yeah. Exactly.
Whole new faculty has been brought in.
Yeah. But it is nice that in this episode they go back to, they normally don't focus on the high school elements. It's normally just a metaphorical backdrop for the monsters. And this one really does focus on, actual high school drama.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is kind of fun in a way.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. So are we leading into Homecoming? You want to talk about that?
Oh, okay.
Or later?
No, well, what did you want to say about Homecoming?
We've spoken about Homecoming before, haven't we? I think in the previous episode. So seeing it being the title of this episode, probably a lot of listeners outside of the States don't know what Homecoming is. I mean, I really didn't know. Again, I know of all this high school terminology that I hear from American TV shows, but not really understanding what they are. So I'm having to look up what Homecoming is. And basically, it seemed to be a celebration, more of a town celebration, I think, than a school, I think is what I sort of learnt about it. It's sort of I think you said once before, it's the students from previous school or that previously went to the school come back to the school and have a big dance. It's a football game or some sporting event that's usually involved with the local team. And reading about it, there was something that's mentioned that usually the home team will play a team that is really bad, so they have a really big win.
Okay.
There's whatever sport they're playing in. Generally, it's American football. They want to have a big win. But it's sort of a town celebration almost, I think, in some ways, the homecoming. But the whole homecoming queen thing is something I hear a lot as well. So they vote on a homecoming queen, and you get to be homecoming queen. I've heard people say, I was homecoming queen and such and such.
You know, I was so popular in high school. I was the homecoming queen.
Yeah.
It's a way of saying, you're a superficial bitch in high school.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely that sort of clique, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't really know what to say because I don't think we really have anything. Like, they kind of got rid of those sort of popularity contests.
Yeah, I don't think they
Australia.
ever really had them, to be honest. I don't really remember having anything like that. The only thing you had was a debutante, or the Deb.
Yeah, so we had the Deb.
And that was the end of year school formal, I guess. But that was more. But they have the prom, but that's on every year though, isn't it? For every sort of year level, I think in America. Whereas I think we just have that one at the end when you graduate from high school.
I don't even think we had that. We only had we had the valedictory dinner. That was it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't have like a end of year formal or anything.
Yeah.
We had the debutante was huge at my school. But yes, I did not do it.
No. Too cool for school.
It wasn't my thing. So also it required a lot of prep.
Or like a year's wages to buy the dress.
Oh, it was more than that. Like those dresses, no one really bought those dresses. They hired them.
Yeah.
They're super expensive dresses for debutantes. But yeah, you had to do like 6 months of dance classes as well.
For one night. Oh,
yeah,
God.
for I just remember.
And then they cancel for COVID. Oh, you'd be shattered.
Oh, God. No, yeah, I was lucky that I didn't do mine because my granddad died. And the funeral was the night of the Deb. So I didn't even get to go. Had tickets and everything.
What else you got for me, Eddie?
Yeah, so this episode is actually a pivotal season arc episode.
Ooh, okay.
Because we are introduced to the mayor.
Had we not seen him before?
No, he's been mentioned.
Oh, right, yeah.
So he's been mentioned here and there.
Is he a supernatural being of some sort, or is that a bit of a spoiler maybe? Or
it's a full spoiler episode. So
well, it's not a spoiler for me, though. I don't know.
You don't know what he is?
The actor's German.
He is the big bad of the season.
Bit of OCD in there as well.
Yeah, it's kind of like a weird little trait that they throw in that he has this thing against germs. Yeah.
Sounds like my type of guy, actually. In this day and age, maybe he's ahead of his time.
It's not a bad idea, yeah. People probably need to be a little more OCD about.
I didn't even think it was weird that he asked if he washed his hands when he came in. Like, yeah, what? Didn't you wash your hands?
Some people make you wash your hands and then put hand sanitizer on.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of lots of little foreshadowing bits and pieces throughout this episode as well. Also, it's that Xander Willow kiss also leads to some interesting storylines.
Now, we've mentioned that. Can we talk about that for a moment?
Yeah, we can talk about that.
So, I was watching that scene, and all I'm thinking in my head is, why are they doing this?
Yeah.
Who goes over to a female friend's house who's also, we both have partners, and try on some clothes? So I'll be like, Eddie, I'm going to go to your friend's Emma's house, and she's going to try on some clothes in front of me for a while. Yeah, you're like, lol, what? Yeah, I mean, okay, maybe it's not a great example, but it was just so weird, and like them getting dressed there in her room as well. It wasn't as if he was in separate rooms and he came out and said, "Oh, what do you think of this?" You know.
Yeah.
She was actually in the room behind a little curtain.
It wasn't a curtain. It was like one of those special changing.
I guess I must do it a lot then.
Screens, which I think were actually kind of a popular thing at the time. Those screens.
Oh, all right. But yeah, and I'm just thinking, why are they doing this? I'm like, and listening to Lisa Loeb at the same time. Like it was such a romantic setting that it was.
Yeah, you would think that they would have done this at like the shop maybe when she bought the outfit.
Yeah, or maybe with Buffy.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe him with, or maybe her boyfriend.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
you know her boyfriend.
Yeah. That would have made more sense.
Yeah, and him with her girlfriend, like that would have made a lot more sense. And I'm like, okay, they're leading onto something here, aren't they?
Yeah.
This is the only reason this is happening. Yeah. So stuff can happen.
Yeah, and then they have like that romantic.
I'm doing air quotes here. Romantic.
Yeah. Well, the song playing.
I know. Well,
it's Lisa Loeb.
I mean, it's like they're playing Siamese Dream there or something, you know? Like that's your romantic music, isn't it?
No, that's sad, depressing music that you listen to while you're crying.
No, you know, but it's also like, you know, make-up music, isn't it? Soft. Just play Siamese Dream. Any song will do. Just Puff and Disarm, maybe. Maybe play Disarm if it was your first time or something, and, you know, that's really bad afterwards or something.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, like, look, I hate. Are you crazy? I hate that they do the typical, you know, they give, you know, this is what Willow has always wanted, was for Xander to notice her. And he does it when she is already taken.
Yeah, typical.
Typical douchebag move.
Like you're single for ages and you're dating someone that everyone wants a piece of you. Like, oh.
Yeah, he's one of those people that only wants.
Quickly!
He's one of those people that only wants a toy when someone else is playing with it. Doesn't know what he has until it's not his anymore. Okay, Giles gets knocked out again in this episode.
We didn't see him get knocked out, did he? It was off screen.
Yeah, it was off screen.
Off-screen knockout. So it must have been pretty bad.
This is number 11.
And Buffy got knocked out too.
Yeah, she did. That doesn't happen a lot. But you know how we can talk about the dresses.
Not for too long. Really?
Can I talk about Buffy? Like, you keep talking about I spent a year's allowance on this dress. Buffy and Cordelia's dresses are, like, though they're completely different dresses.
Mm-hmm, yes.
But they're done they're the same material.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah. Didn't notice that. That was like the first thing I noticed, I think, when watching this. And like red and like Cordelia's in red. Cordelia's in green and Buffy's in red. And they are opposing colours on the colour scale. Like, what do you call it? I forget what you call it. It's like the colour that stands out the most.
Are they both primary colours? No?
No, it's not primary. It's I can't remember the terminology for it. This is
loud colours.
No.
Dominant.
No, it's like when you're matching colours together. So it's like, you know, green and purple. Like they're at opposite ends of the colour.
Oh, the spectrum. Yeah, the colour spectrum. Yeah,
so they're at opposite ends.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Or there's like a colour wheel. And once they go across from each other, I can't remember the term for it. And I'm feeling like a real dumbass. Yeah. So they're opposing forces in these two dresses that are...
Well, you're really seeing the stuff, don't you, Eddie?
Yeah, seeing, you know, similar... Yeah, and that same satin material. I think I had a dress in the same satin material, but in purple.
Smack bang in the middle.
Yep. Yep. And I just wanted to talk about one of the scenes. Can we talk about Angel?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. So what do you think of the decision that Buffy, like when she says that she hasn't told Willow or Giles about him being alive? Why do you think she's made the decision to do that?
Maybe because he's still a little barbaric and like not quite ready to face everyone or something, maybe. Or
yeah,
probably that.
And then her telling him about the boyfriend, like the new boyfriend, like after he's been in hell for.
That's the cock blocker, isn't it?
So after he's been
got a boyfriend.
Yeah, after he's been in hell for years.
Exactly.
She tells him, I've got a new boyfriend.
What's a boyfriend?
Yeah, just that little lack of empathy that she has for him. And then I was sort of like, well, but yeah, it does sound like she's also trying to convince herself.
She's not interested. I don't want him.
Yep, and she's like, he's good, he's kind, he's all of these,
Funny, she doesn't seem that distraught when that guy dumps her. Like,
she is like, but the only person that actually consoles her is Faith. Yeah, so she's not upset, she's more mad.
Yeah. You're dumping me. He's just sticking in the mud. You do better without him.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
do we see him again?
No, but I think he's brought up in the final season. He's gay. No, but
there's your gay undertone.
It's funny when he starts going, like when he's going, I thought you were so full of life. And I was like, really? When she was like going through that breakup with like the horrible stuff that was happening with Angel, and he thought she was so full of life and so vibrant, and now she just seems distracted.
Yeah, not all into him.
Yeah, but that sort of ends up being a bit of a theme with Buffy, is that she is very easily distracted by the fact that she is constantly having to save the world.
Oh, no. That world ain't going to save itself.
Yeah. Okay, so Buffy moved beyond, the Cordelia's shadow self, but her yearning for her friends and her friends' acceptance is a continued theme throughout the series.
Okay. Right, yeah. So it constantly comes up, does it?
Oh, as a way of causing
tension.
tension.
Yeah. Got to have tension.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I did really like that cut shot of when Scott Hope, like from when she tells Angel about Scott, and then it sort of does this swirly motion, and he's like, I think we should break up.
Oh, yeah.
And then she's sort of left standing there all lonesome.
Mm-hmm. All by herself.
Oh. Yeah. Poor Buffy. I actually did feel really bad for her in this episode in some parts. So.
It was almost that Spider-Man 2 scene where Peter Parker's just being shat on
yes.
by everyone.
Yeah.
You know, when Franco comes up and starts yelling at him and he hey, don't push me. I was like, but you pushed him first. Then J.J. Abrams, come on, get a photo of my son, the astronaut.
Yeah.
And then he goes to get the last hors d'oeuvre and someone takes it from him.
Yeah.
Well, we're shitting on Buffy in this episode. That's, definitely. I'll definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
Can we mention Lyle?
Oh, yeah.
And his wife, Candy.
Candy. I won't let you go.
Yeah. He was in this episode.
Yes. A callback to Bad Eggs.
Yeah. So Slayer Fest 98.
Yes.
So is that like a tagline? Like, because that's kind of sound familiar.
Yes. So Foxtel used to do Slayer Fest.
Oh, is that where I heard that? Yeah, I knew I heard Slayer Fest before. So,
which was actually all it is where they just play back to back like the entire series of Buffy. Like,
it's the marathon
I think 4 over like a long weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I think it's like they used to do it over the Easter weekend.
Remember when they used to do that, play marathon shows?
Yeah.
They don't do that anymore, do they?
Well, we don't have Foxtel anymore.
Well, you don't need to because it's all like, on streaming where you could just do it yourself. There's no need to broadcast a whole series.
Well,
marathon.
They started up an entire binge. Like Stan.
Yeah, what I'm saying, there's all streaming services now, so you don't really. There's no need to broadcast on a free-to-air TV.
So there's an entire streaming service called Binge that only has entire series of TV shows.
Well, yeah, but most streaming services would have, whether it be Stan or Netflix, would have a whole series. What I'm trying to say is that there used to be, like Sci-Fi Channel or something like that would do a marathon of a TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah, which they don't do anymore.
Yeah, I used to love those.
Yeah,
that's why.
There's no need to do that anymore.
Yeah, so that's why I thought you'd seen Homecoming, because I swear there was like one of those times when one of these marathons was on, and I just had it on Buffy all day.
Right, didn't even notice. I must have been doing something else on my phone. What was I playing? Snake on my phone.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Now, did you go down any rabbit holes?
No, I didn't go any rabbit holes. The twins that were on there.
Are you going to tell this entirely depressing story where they're both dead?
No, they're not dead. No, they're doing quite well. They're actors. This is pretty much the only film or TV show they've ever been in. The Brewer twins. And I found something about them on YouTube. They were serving drinks at a bar. There were these cocktails, and they're handing it to themselves, like very identical twins. Like those, you have twins who are just like, they look like each other, but they don't act alike. Well, they don't have to act alike, but these ones are very much doing the unison sort of twins
thing. They sort of have that ESP thing going on.
Possibly, yeah, maybe. So yeah, I don't know. Just looking up about them. It's just only thing they've ever been in. Musically, I just wanted to make one mention, and I think I briefly mentioned before the Lisa Loeb song that they're playing when they're getting dressed. Very romantic. So I listened to a bit of Lisa Loeb this week. I was
wondering why you were humming Lisa Loeb before.
Yeah, I mean, look, I suppose everyone knows who Lisa Loeb is. Very popular in the mid-90s was her sort of peak, but she's still making music. She's still going strong.
Is she still wearing the glasses?
She's still wearing the glasses. You wouldn't recognize her if she wasn't wearing her glasses.
She always had that sexy librarian look.
Oh, yeah, and she's still sexy. She's in her 50s, and yeah, she's still hot. Aged very gracefully, which is probably because she kind of always looked old.
Yeah, like even when she was in her 20s.
She kind of looked like a 40-year-old when she was 20, so she's aged very gracefully. Very talented musician too, just got to say. And she's hot. She's cute. One of her famous songs was
From Reality Bites.
From Reality Bites. Yeah. What was it? Stay, I Missed You.
Yeah.
Though I always liked another song. I always liked Taffy. I don't know if you ever heard Taffy. Yeah, so this is one of the other songs that was released. I really like this song, actually. It's a bit more rocky than her other songs, where she's just more of a folk singer. This one's a bit louder, a bit more going on in it. So and she's got an amazing voice as well, Lisa Loeb, and here she is. I'm gonna get so much trouble for playing all this, aren't I?
Yeah.
I put it on YouTube, and they're like, "No, you can't do that."
Yes.
Like, fuck you! I'm doing it.
This is getting flagged on YouTube.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So I really like that song, Taffy. I reckon that's probably her best. Well, I'm sure she's got heaps of others. She's got countless albums. Huge, nice big discography. If you're a fan of Lisa Loeb, you know what I'm talking about. And the song they played in there.
How?
So not really a rabbit hole. Just Lisa Loeb. Giving her a plug for this week.
I thought you had another one.
Did you?
Yeah.
What was that?
The spiny guy.
The spiny. Oh, actually, yes. Now, Kulak.
Of the Cluck Quack Clan.
The Cluck Quack Clan. The Cluck Quack Clan. Hasn't done much in front of the screen, but behind the screen, director of the John Wick films. Which I actually just found out by I was browsing Reddit, and after watching this episode, someone put a picture of Kolak and said, "Hey, does everyone know that this guy directed John Wick?" I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm going to mention that in my podcast." So it's on the Reddit subreddit there for that thing. If you find it, it's there.
All right.
So, I think I'm.
You ready for question time?
I am definitely ready. Got it. Just do it.
Answer the question.
Okay, Jared, are you ready?
Yes, I said I was ready.
Which character was your favourite?
Kolak!
Kolak of the Deathwatch clan. Yeah, I've got to go with Cordelia. Okay, most of my answers are very Cordelia-centric.
I'd understand. Yep.
Which character do you love to hate?
I was going to say the mayor.
Oh, I'm going with Willow and Xander for this one.
Why Willow? For bailing out on Buffy?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, yep.
What was the most memorable fight scene?
In the cabin where Buffy was fighting Kulak. Actually, the whole cabin scene was pretty hilarious, I thought.
That's my favorite.
Oh, we can do that. We can mention it. We can mention things twice in here.
All right.
But yeah, that was the spatula and the bomb. Yeah, everything.
Yeah.
Leading into LOL.
When he jumps into the window.
Jumps into the window.
But it's the boarded
it's one of those
boarded up window.
It's one of those sliding doors moments, isn't it? Had she gone for the other window and they went for that one, he would have survived. They would have died,
Yeah,
but just fate was like, nah,
Yeah. Yeah.
And he lands right next to the bomb too, so he's got a second to realise it. Oh shit!
Yeah. Yeah, I actually really love the verbal fight between Buffy and Cordelia. I think it's actually the second verbal one that they have.
Yeah.
And it goes something like this.
Mm-hmm.
So you really are giving out money, huh? That's Buffy talking. Cordelia's like, is that any more tacky than your faux I'm shy but deep campaign posters? Buffy, yes. Cordelia responds with, this whole trying to be me really isn't funny anymore. Buffy is all like, I was never trying to be like you, and when was it funny? Cordelia responds with, I don't see why your pathetic need to recapture your glory days gives you the right to splinter my vote.
Don't be ridiculous.
Buffy responds with, how do you think it's okay to talk to people like this? Do you even have parents? Cordelia's like, yeah, 2 of them. Unlike some people. Ooh, burn. That's like such a a sick burn.
Yeah, that was just mean.
That's like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, cutting a bit deep there.
Yeah.
She's shoving that knife in and she's twisting it. Buffy responds with, your brain isn't even connected to your mouth. So she's stabbing right back.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, stabbing right back and twisting that knife even further. Cordelia responds with, why don't you do us both a favour and get out of my way? And then there's sort of this pushy shove thing. Xander comes up and says, okay, let's not say anything. We'll regret later. Cordelia calls her, says, you crazy freak. Buffy responds with, vapid whore.
Yeah, vapid whore.
Yeah. Great fucking verbal fight scene.
Yeah.
All right. LOL moment.
Cordy with a spatula. Whacking Kulak off with it.
Yes. Mine's probably the end scene with when they're announcing the winners.
Mm-hmm.
And Cordelia says, after all that we've been through tonight, this whole who gets to be queen capade seems pretty. And Buffy interrupts with, damn important. Cordelia responds with, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Favourite scene?
Oh, the whole cabin scene I liked. Yeah, I thought it was pretty fun.
I'm going to go with the same thing because they're finally, it has been that trope throughout this episode that they're not actually talking to each other. They're just mean banter back and forth.
Yeah. They're
not actually talking to each other. And they do have like a moment in the cabin where they finally actually start to, be a little bit vulnerable with each other and talk about what they, Cordelia was talking about why, that the fact that she's actually in love with Xander.
Yes.
And then you have Buffy talking about why she actually really wanted to be prom queen.
Just she wanted something.
She just wanted to feel like she went to school. And there was proof that she did that.
And she participated.
Yeah.
Get a participation medal.
Yeah. Least favourite scene. I think we both know what our least favourite scene
Willow
is.
Xander. Yeah. Terrible.
Yeah. Favourite quote.
Well, you already just said it, but I'm going to say it again. Xander Harris. Okay, let's not say something we'll regret later. Cordelia, you crazy freak. Buffy Summers, you vapid whore. Is that the first time the word whore has been used in Buffy, I think? Like that?
Yeah. So my favourite quote is from it's the scene between Lyle and Cordelia after Buffy kills his wife Candy.
All right. So I've got it here too. You do Cordelia, I'll do Lyle. I'll start with Lyle. Right, ready? I'm going to kill the both of you Slayers for this. You hear me?
I hear you, you redneck moron. You got a dress that goes with that hat?
I'm gonna
rip out my innards, play with my eyeballs, boil my brain, eat it for brunch. Listen up, needle brain. Buffy and I have taken out 4 of your cronies, not to mention your girlfriend.
Wife?
Whatever. The point is, I haven't even broken a sweat. See, in the end, Buffy's just the runner-up. I'm the queen. You get me mad? What do you think I'm going to do to you?
Thanks for a second. Later. Well done, Eddie.
All right. And then we end with best Cordelia freakout moment.
Okay, that was it. That's what I had.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had that.
Oh, okay. I had the Cordelia sobbing, I'm never going to be crowned homecoming queen. I'm never going to graduate from high school. I'm never going to know if it's real between me and Xander or if it's just some temporary insanity that made me think I love him, and I'm never going to get the chance to tell him.
Yep. Very nice, Eddie.
Yeah. There's some great Cordelia moments in this. Anyway, who gets the wooden spoon? Or hang on, I'm going to change it to a wooden spatula.
A wooden spatula. Yes, it was made out of wood. I kind of put me off that. Aren't they usually made out of plastic? Who uses a wooden spatula?
I suppose they are.
I'm not saying there aren't any out there. Just don't see that many.
Yeah.
The wooden spatula, the fruity Germans. Well, they're not fruity, but yeah, I thought they were all this technology and everything that they had going for them. The telecommunication stuff they used was pretty sophisticated for their time too. The tracking system, it seemed all pretty legit what they were sort of using to spy on Buffy. The equipment they were using. And, you know, when you don't have a video phone on your mobile,
Yes.
that was the next best thing.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. With the old man as well. Who's that old man? Do we see him again?
No, we never see him again.
Maybe him as well. He seemed to have everything going, and
He's like, I
balls
won.
it up.
I won.
Yeah, the early crow.
Yeah. I'm giving it to Mr. Trick. So, because he does seem like he's a vampire, that he wants to be in charge. He doesn't want to be
Someone's lackey.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be doing the dirty work.
Mm-hmm.
And then in this episode, he ends up
Being someone's lackey.
Exactly. And who's the MVP of the episode?
I left it blank, not because I couldn't be bothered filling it out, but I just really couldn't think of someone who was really outstanding in this episode without being a vapid whore at the same time. To sort of cancel that out, if you know what I mean. So
I actually still gave it to Cordelia.
Yeah. She came through in the end, I guess, but she was pretty nasty early on, so I took points away for that one. To be honest, no MVP this week. No one gets it.
And what do you rate the episode out of 10?
We're both using spatulas?
No, I've got something else.
4 spatulas.
Okay, I've got 8 out of 10 shy but deep posters.
Posters?
Yeah.
Oh, the
the posters that she had. The shy but deep campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I will give a shout out to Faith and her going up to Scott Hope with the STI thing as well at the dance. So, only one on Buffy's side in this episode.
Yeah. Alligators this big.
Oh, what is it? Was it the it's the the doctor says, you just got to keep using the ointment for the itching. I can't remember what the line is. But anyway. Is that it? Can you think of anything?
Yeah,
else?
no, I think I'm done. I'm just going to push the button and
that's the wrong
button. Well done, Jared. Maybe I'll push this button. And we'll wrap it up today. Okay, you have been listening to Subculture. My name is Jared.
I'm Edwina.
And if you like what you hear today, you can
find us on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. There is a Facebook group, and you can email us at nerdsubculture@gmail.com.
Yes, be sure to like, share, subscribe, shout us a comment. We'll respond or not. But until then, we'll catch you next time live from Melbourne.
In lockdown.
In lockdown. Bye.
Number 6. Bye.
Grarg.
Grrr.